I'm so happy that you guys are still tuning into my channel. This is awesome. I have one question for you. Aside from a one-page letter in an envelope, what is the cheapest item to mail internationally? What do you think? Have a guess. Postcards! Postcards. I love postcards. We all know that. I love postcards. I bet some of you have been wondering what the screen behind me is. Well, tonight I feel like talking about the screen behind me and explaining what it is about. What I have here is a screen divider that I bought off from a friend a couple of months ago. I actually got it for my craft corner to sort of hide the mess, the huge chaotic mess that is my craft corner, so people from the outside wouldn't be able to see how unorganized this particular area in my apartment is, because it is really very unorganized. I love postcards. I believe I've mentioned that, along with the 10 million other things that I love. My official postcard collection started about probably about 6 years ago. I'd pick up a postcard here and there whenever I travel. This collection turned into an obsession last year in 2017 when I started snail mailing. At that time, when I was still pen paling, sometimes my pen pals and I would exchange items with our letters. I'd get sent postcards and I found out that damn, postcards are actually really cool. And that's when the obsession started. Okay, so back to the divider behind me. You may notice that some parts here, especially here in the middle, it's all bare, whereas this one here is actually quite full. The divider is divided into 4 sections, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. These 3 sections is actually my American section, whereas this section over here are all the other postcards that are non-American. I predominantly have European and New Zealand and Australian postcards on this side of the screen. Now, the question is, but I still did not tell you why this part here is bare, right? But that's the question I want to ask you to think. Why do you think my American postcards are placed strategically like this? Go on, have a guess. Have you guessed it yet? Fine, I'm gonna tell you. I am trying to recreate the US map with my postcards over here. So that's why you can see that this part here is very bare, because I don't have US postcards yet from that area here. Doesn't that sound interesting? It's a very tedious job when I first started putting it all together. Let's take a closer look at the postcards behind me. Let's take a closer look at some of my postcards, shall we? Alright, let's start from this side over here. That is from Montana. This is from Washington. That's from Oregon, Idaho, Las Vegas. That's one of my favorite ones because it's just so nice and shiny and glossy and big. I just love that. And that's of course from California. That's from Arizona. I need a better one for Arizona though. Utah. I actually had more Utah postcards, so I might replace this out. Colorado. I like this one, but I'm probably gonna replace that as well. Kansas. Oklahoma. Texas. Hawaii. I love this Hawaiian postcard that I have. It's just so beautiful. I like the colors. From Alaska. This is my first Alaska postcard. I've since received several more Alaskan postcards, so I might replace that. Alright, let's go to this side of the wall. Minnesota. I like the colors on this one, but I might have to replace this. The state name doesn't really stand out that much. Having said that, so does Montana. It doesn't really stand out. This one, I don't have another card for it. Minnesota, I also do not have another card. Wisconsin, I have a lot of Wisconsin postcards. Seems like I have a lot of swapper friends who live in Wisconsin, so I have a hell of a lot of Wisconsin postcards. Out of all the US postcards that I have, Wisconsin's probably the one that I have the most of. And then we have one from Missouri. I can't remember whether I have another one of these. I'm gonna have to replace that too. It just doesn't look right with all the other postcards that I have. So this is from Illinois. I like that postcard. This is from Indiana. That was one of the first postcards that I have received. It was also, in fact, one of the first pieces of mail that I have received last year when I started doing all of this. So that one is staying up there because it is quite special to me. This is from Ohio. I also like the colors on this one, but I'm probably gonna replace this one because the words do not stand out. I think I have another Ohio card to replace that with. This is from Kentucky. I like this postcard. It just feels so different and it just looks really beautiful and quite different to what I have on this wall. That's from Tennessee. That's also another beautiful one. So the Tennessee one actually matches with my Illinois postcard. So both of them are staying there. Greensboro, North Carolina. I like this postcard too. I think it's because of the white background. The white background is very plain. Not really quite sure how to describe it. I just like how clean it looks, if I'm making any sense. Alright, and that is from Alabama. I like that too. That's not too bad. South Carolina. This one I definitely have to change. I don't think I have another South Carolina postcard. I am looking to change this one. And then, of course, we have Florida. I like the palm trees and I like beach postcards as well. This is probably gonna stay up here. I think I have a couple of Florida postcards. Alright, next up we have the New York postcard. I think this is one of the earliest New York postcards that I have received. So out of all the US postcards that I have, Wisconsin would probably come in first of the number of postcards I have of each state. And then New York would probably come in second. I have a hell of a lot of Wisconsin and New York postcards. Then we have Pennsylvania. I like this one because it seems like all of the images are blended together and it just has a nice feel to it. So next we have Virginia. This was also one of the earliest postcards that I have received. I like the colors of that because it reminds me of a sunset and I like sunsets. This is from New Jersey. This is also one of the earlier postcards that I have received. This is actually from one of my pen pals who obviously lives in New Jersey, and I just like the map postcards. I don't go crazy over map postcards like most people do, but I do like it when I receive them. Here is a Connecticut postcard. This is quite nice. I also like the colors on this one. And then lastly we have a Maine postcard. This one I am definitely gonna change because I received another postcard from Maine that is so beautiful. So I'm gonna replace this with that. So those are all the US postcards that I have. I have since received some more state postcards, which means that obviously I'm gonna have to update this one, but there are still a lot that I am missing. So at the moment I have how many? 32. So I've got 32 out of 50. That's not bad, I suppose. I probably have about 5 more states to add to this wall. So I'm missing about, what, 10 more, I believe. Those are the states that are quite hard to get. What do you think of my US postcard wall? Do you like that? Let us look at the other side. This is my special postcard screen. These are all the postcards that I have received or bought myself that are not from the US. This is from TSS Ernslaw. I like this one. This is from Queenstown, New Zealand. I got this postcard myself and I just like how vintage it looks. This is a very special postcard. I never thought I'd receive something like this. Cyprus. I can't remember now who gave this to me. I'm sorry, but let's just have a look. Oh, Rachel Davis. Yes, I remember her now. She was one of the people who contacted me during the Incorimo month last February. She's actually from the UK. She took a vacation to Cyprus and decided to send me one of these postcards because when I went on a trip to Japan last year, I sent her one. So she decided to send me one from her vacation spot as well. I have several Sydney postcards, but this is my favorite, mainly because of the colors. I like the color blue as well, and I just find this very beautiful, and it's actually quite long. It's longer than a standard postcard. This one came from a personal swap. This one here is from London. I got this myself. The reason why I like it is because it's a shaped postcard. So it's not the usual boring rectangular shape. It is actually in the shape of a bus. That's actually quite cool. Next one is from Amsterdam. A personal friend of mine got me this from Amsterdam, and again I like this because up here it's shaped. It's a shaped postcard as well, and that is just really beautiful. I love it. Alright, so this one is from Vienna. I got this postcard when I was in Vienna a few years ago. I think about like 3 years ago. At that time, I was already collecting postcards, but I wasn't as obsessed with them as I am right now. So I didn't really pick up a lot of postcards, which was a shame because the postcards in Vienna are really, really beautiful. I wish I'd picked up a couple more just to add to my collection and to hand out to friends, you know. I think this is... That word always gets to me. Yes, that is from Sweden. That is correct. Sorry, the Swedish word for Sweden always gets to me. I see that word and I know it's familiar, but I always forget what it is. That's a Swedish one. I'll probably replace this one because this is a little bit too plain. I have another Swedish postcard that I could put up there. Now this is another one of my special postcards, meaning something that I never thought I'd get. This is actually from Latvia. I have this crazy postcard friend who is actually Latvian, but she's living in New York. Last year, due to some family emergencies, she had to go back to Latvia. And while there, she decided to pick up some postcards to send to some of her friends. And of course, I'm one of her friends. So this is something I'd never thought that I had received. So thank you for that. That's awesome. That's staying there. The next one is from Scotland. It's a very beautiful multi-view postcard of Scotland. I like that. The next one, we have this beach bum from Australia. I got this myself. One of the reasons why it's up here on my screen is I find it quite funny. It is really a beach bum. Literally a beach bum. And secondly, with the way that my postcards are positioned, I need something of this size to make it look more organized on my screen, so that's why that's there. The next two that I have are from St. Petersburg in Russia. This one and this one. Both of them are very, very beautiful. Look at that. And I also like the gold lettering on both of them. It's just very fancy. So these two are from my high school teacher. I've been pestering her to... We still keep in touch on Facebook, of course. And I think she now knows to send me postcard whenever she goes traveling. She travels a lot. She's a Chinese American and they live in Texas. They've been there for the past couple of years now, and every year it seems like they go traveling. And so these are just some of the postcards she has given me. Next one, we have this postcard from Nimbin, Australia. I'm not gonna say too much about this, but if you know what Nimbin is, all I can say is I didn't do it. I didn't do anything in Nimbin, really. I was only there for a few hours and couldn't really find anything, which is a shame. Next up we have Bress. I can't remember now where this is from. Is this Germany? If I'm not mistaken, this is also another one from my high school teacher. I think that's Germany. I'm not sure now. I like that. And then we have this Dusseldorf one. That is another cool one. This is from a swap, and that is another beautiful postcard from Germany. I just love it. This is also another one from Germany. So this is from a German who moved to the US for a short while for a job and then went back to Germany. And this is what she sent me. I really love the history behind this because I have not seen a train that is apparently called an upside down train, and that only exists in Wuppertal in Germany. That's just so cool. Alright, so next one we have one from Finland. I think this is from a swap. I can't remember now, but yeah, so that's another nice multi-view one. So next up we have Glasgow. I like this multi-view postcard as well. That's really awesome. Next one, I have one from Ireland. I never thought I'd get one, but this is, as it says, beautiful Ireland, and I do like that postcard too. This is from Antigua. This is from a personal friend of mine. She used to work for me here in Macau, but then she moved over to Antigua and then stayed there for a few years, met and fell in love with someone, and never came back. That's how it works, right? This is another one I never thought I'd get. This is from Tunisia. This is also from a pen pal. We decided to exchange postcards along with our letters. I really like this one. It's the only postcard I have from Tunisia. This one is also from my high school teacher, Italian. I can't remember now where this one's from. Let's just have a look. Estonia. Okay, maybe it's not from my teacher then. Can't remember. Another one I never thought I'd receive. That's a very beautiful postcard. St. Thomas, the US Virgin Islands. This was from a swapper friend in the US. I like that one too. That's not bad. This, if I'm not mistaken, that's from Italy. I love all things Italian. Italy is one of my top travel destinations. Top two places I really want to go to is the US and Italy. I have the means to go over to the US, but I'm just afraid to go because I'm afraid of all the shopping I know I'm gonna do in the US. That's why I've not been yet. Italy, I'm just waiting for the right moment. I think Italy is a very nice and romantic place, even more romantic than France. So I'm waiting for a special moment to go over to Italy. And this is from the Dominican Republic. I like beach postcards. This was given to me from someone in the US. It wasn't sent from the Dominican Republic. This one is from Segovia. Where is that? And I asked her to get me a postcard for you. Oh, this was from a pen pal. This is another cool beach one given to me by a friend from the US. Okay, then now we've come to the last of it. I've still got more space down here. It's pointless putting postcards that low because nobody's ever gonna see them anyway. So this is from Aegina. I believe that is from Greece. It's just one of those postcards I never thought I'd receive. And then we have this rather nice and long postcard. This is a rather unique postcard. Look at how long that is. That is awesome. That's like the size of 2 standard postcards. This is from, I know it says it right there, Valletta. I think this is in Spain. Just look at how beautiful that is and how long. It's very unique. So that's all the postcards I have on this screen. So again, I'm just trying to build the US map here. But as you can see, I've still got a lot more space down there. So I still don't have my Canadian postcards up and some parts of Asia. As soon as I'm able to determine the space that I need to build my US map, I'm gonna put the other postcards here. Well, there you have it. That was a close-up look of all the postcards on the screen behind me, and this would probably be the backdrop of most of my vlogs. I hope you enjoyed seeing all of those postcards up close. As I have mentioned earlier, sending postcards is actually not that expensive. in most places anyway. It is a very easy piece of mail to send out. You don't even have to write a full letter. You can just write a short note on the back, put a stamp on it, and voila, sent. And it brings so much joy and happiness to all the people, you know. Anyway, let us compare the postcard prices. And when I say comparing, I mean postcards being sent from other countries to my little area here in Asia, which is of course in Macau, China. Because this video has gone on for longer than I had expected, I decided to split this video into two parts. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing my collection of postcards and the stories behind them in part 1. Stay tuned for part 2, where we will be comparing postcard prices around the world. I'll see you guys again.